So welcome to the University of Manchester Middle East Centre's online webinar and information session on the brand new Masters in Financial Management program. So today I'll be taking you through a couple of things. My name is William Walsh and I am one of the program counsellors for the MSc Financial Management, and I'll be taking you through some information today. So as you can see here, what we'll go through today, so I'll talk to you a bit about Manchester. We'll go through a couple of facts with regards to the University of Manchester and the Middle East Centre as well. Then we won't waste any more time. We'll go straight into details about the part-time Masters in Financial Management. We'll go through the program overview, structure, some of the entry requirements, application process, and program fees as well. And we'll have a short Q&A at the end. So not only that, I'm happy to have with us today Hamed Abu Sadeh, who is one of our prestigious alumni from the Global MBA program. We decided to use his insight because he has very valuable insight on what it's like to study at the University of Manchester Middle East Centre. And obviously, as we don't yet have any sort of current students or alumni from the financial management program, we thought we'd still give you some insight about what it's like to study at the University of Manchester. So with that being said, I'll take you through the Manchester fact page. So a bit about Manchester. So as many of you may know, it is very famous for its vibrant cultural scene. So some of the world's greatest musicians like Oasis and artists come from Manchester. So Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays Doctor Strange in the Avengers, is actually a graduate of the University of Manchester. And as you may know, Manchester is actually the second largest city behind the capital, London, in the UK. It's also home to two of the major football clubs. So you may be familiar with Manchester United and Manchester City, especially that Manchester City is actually owned by Abu Dhabi here in the Middle East. So there is a link there. It's also a leading powerhouse in social movements and pioneering capitalism as well many years ago. And it's also the place where the first atom was discovered and split as well. So thus actually launching the field of nuclear physics. And that was done by Ernest Rutherford, who actually won a Nobel Prize in physics for his discovery. It's also where the first computer was built. So you can imagine the influence of some of these individuals at the University of Manchester and in Manchester. It's also the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution, the place where the discovery of graphene was happened, and it's also, of course, renowned for its vision, creativity, and entrepreneurial spirit, of course. Now, with regards to the University of Manchester, so it was established back in 1824. So as you can see by that number, it's nearly 200 years old now. So throughout these last 2 centuries, nearly, we've been able to really tailor our programs to really develop them into world-leading programs. And as you can see, as per the university ranking, so we're 6th in the UK, 8th in Europe, 27th globally, and that's as per the QS World University Rankings 2021. So as you can see, we are a very elite and established university which is recognized everywhere in the world. And with regards to finance, we're actually 7th in the UK and 24th globally as per the QS World University Rankings 2021 as well. Not only that, we actually have 25 Nobel Prize winners. So we are actually the 23rd university with the most Nobel Prize winners. That just yet again shows you the quality of the research of the faculty and professors that actually reside at the University of Manchester, and that yet again is just another feather in our cap to show you the quality of education that you would receive at a place like the University of Manchester. Now then, moving on to the University of Manchester Middle East. So the Middle East Centre was established back in 2006, so it's going to be 15 years old this year. We've actually had over 100 different nationalities on our programme. We've graduated on our most successful program and flagship program, the MBA, over 1,800 students across the last 15 years. And then we've supported over 2,800 students as well at the centre. And this, of course, is a network that you will be a part of as well. So you can imagine the size of the alumni and student network in the Middle East alone. And that's just excluding the other 60,000 global alumni that you would encounter as part of the Alliance Manchester Business School, which the finance program is a part of as well. So here you have the 5 different programs as well that we offer at the university. So there's the Manchester Global Part-Time MBA, the Kelly Manchester Global Part-Time MBA, the part-time Masters in Real Estate, the part-time Masters in Education Leadership and Practice, and of course the brand new part-time Masters in Financial Management. And just before we move on, I'd just like to add that, of course, the Middle East Centre, which is based in Dubai, is actually one of 6 global centres that Manchester has. So as you can see, there's Shanghai, Sao Paulo, Hong Kong, Singapore, and the main campus, which is in Manchester. So this was really set up by the university to make sure that no matter where you reside in the world, you actually have access to world-class education without having to travel all the way to Manchester and to leave, your family, your job behind to study world-class education. Now then, moving on to the part-time Masters in Financial Management, the program is headed by Amedeo De Cesare, who's the course director, and as you can see, he's a senior lecturer in finance in the Accounting and Finance Division of the Alliance Manchester Business School. He was actually awarded a PhD in finance from Alliance Manchester Business School back in 2008, so he has been at the university for a very long time now, and his research expertise lies in the areas of corporate finance and corporate governance, with the focus on dividend payments, stock repurchases, initial public offerings, mergers and acquisitions, executive compensation as well. And Amedeo has also substantial teaching experience, so he has taught both undergraduate and postgraduate, including our MBA program as well, courses in finance, corporate finance, and derivatives as well. So an extremely well-established faculty member to lead this Masters in Financial Management. More about the part-time financial management program. So a couple of facts for you here. So it is a 2-year part-time program, so 24 months in total. We do have one intake each year, which starts in September alone. So the only start date that we do have for the program is in September. You get to visit us twice a year for interactive workshops with leading academics. So you will have the opportunity to meet the other students on the program, to meet faculty as well who travel all the way from the UK to the UAE. And a bit more about that in just a minute when I talk about the structure of the program. Now, we also have to talk about the learning by doing motto that we have at the University of Manchester, which is our Manchester method. And it really, really helps simply because we put a lot of emphasis on application of knowledge. So we don't want you to just learn everything by heart and sit an exam and then forget everything you've just learned as soon as you leave the room. What we do is to make sure that you have the time to reflect on the knowledge that we've provided you, to actually speak with other students on the program as well, to gain different perspectives and different applications of that knowledge as well. And for that, we actually focus a lot on group project and individual assignments as well. So there are no exams, seated exams, I should say, during the course of this program. Now, this Masters in Financial Management focuses on 6 key areas. So as you can see here, the financial management area, the financial markets, financial strategy, private equity, data analysis, and statistical techniques as well. And we mustn't forget that, of course, the program is accredited by the AACSB and EQUIS as well. So the AACSB is actually a North American accreditation body accredits the best business schools in the world, best business programs, and EQUI is the same, but in Europe as well. So it's extremely, extremely valuable to have a program which is accredited by these two bodies, simply because it does add an additional layer of credibility to your degree certificate. Now, with regards to the method of delivery, so this program is obviously delivered in a part-time blended learning format. So all our programs at the University of Manchester Middle East Centre are delivered in this fashion, simply because they are designed for working professionals. So we do not have any sort of undergraduates here with us studying at the University of Manchester Middle East Centre. We only have postgraduate master's level degree programs, as you've previously seen, and therefore we need to make sure that these programs can be accustomed to and put into right conditions for working professionals here in the Middle East. So as you can see, blended learning basically means that you're focusing on two main aspects, which are the online learning environment as well as the face-to-face residential workshops that you have as well. So as you can see here, the e-learning is here to maximize your opportunity to learn at your own pace alongside work and personal commitment. So that means that you'll have access to a virtual campus online, which is called Blackboard at the University of Manchester. That's where you can find all the online resources. That's where you can find all the lecture recordings as well. So you will have some online tutorials and lectures, which are always recorded for your own convenience as well, 24/7. So no matter the time of day or the day, you will be able to access them. If you've missed out on an online tutorial, or if you haven't had the time to go through everything and you want to watch it again, you'll obviously be able to do so online via Blackboard. So along with that, you'll also have access to the online library. So the University of Manchester actually hosts one of the largest online libraries worldwide. So I cannot stress enough how important it is to use this library and the benefits of using the online library, which has so much information that you can use in your own during the course of your own studies and in terms of your own professional environment as well. A lot to be used there. Then in terms of residential workshops, so twice a year, you'll have the opportunity to meet us here at the University of Manchester Middle East Centre. So you'll have to come to the UAE to attend specific workshops, and I'll get to that in just a minute. And then in terms of applied learning, yet again, a lot of application of the learning through projects and personal assignments as well. So giving you time to reflect on knowledge, giving you time to see how you can use it in your own professional environment as well. And then you have action learning. So in small groups, you'll be able to tackle work-related issues and you're learning with the support of your peers. So that's, of course, extremely important because, as you can imagine, you do learn as much from the faculty that is leading the program as you will from the other students on the program as well, who have different perspectives and backgrounds, and work in different industries and different levels as well. So that's extremely valuable for all. Moving on now to the program structure. Now, this is, of course, one of the most important slides. So as you can see here, these will be the 2 years of your program at the University of Manchester with regards to the Masters in Financial Management program. So as you can see, every semester you have, well, first and foremost, the 2 years are divided into 4 semesters, as you can see here. And then every semester is divided into 2 modules that you will be studying one at a time. So taking the example of the first semester, you will be studying the Foundations of Accounting module for 10 weeks before you move on to the Foundations of Finance for another 10 weeks. And then you'll move on to the second semester where you have Corporate Finance and then moving on to Global Financial Markets and Institutions. Now, there are 8 modules, 8 15-credit modules, I should say. But what is very important for you to keep in mind as well is that we do not have a dissertation per se at the end of the 8 modules. So of your program, like many other master's programs would. Instead, what you do have is a final group project, which would be in the fourth semester of your program. So you can see there it says group project, group research report. So that's an additional module, a 60 credit final group project that you will have to deliver by the end, by September actually, of your fourth semester. So that's what we have instead of a dissertation for the Masters in Financial Management program. So it's important to keep that in mind. As you can see as well, every semester you'll have a 6-day course conference here in Dubai. So I did previously mention that we usually request our students to travel all the way to the UAE to attend the workshops and to take part in them. Of course, we would usually fly out the professors as well during normal times. Obviously, these are abnormal circumstances. So during the pandemic, we've actually been running online workshops. So there would still be full days of studying. So usually from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Here in the Middle East. And so instead of actually attending face-to-face, you would actually do this online. So you'd still have to take a couple of days off work because obviously this usually lasts 6 consecutive days during the week. So it would be from a Saturday to a Thursday. Of course, it would never include a Friday here in the Middle East, but you would have to take 6 days off every semester. So every 5 to 6 months or so. So hopefully it's not too much of a commitment for all of you. But so yes, if these conditions are still the case by the start of the program in September, you may be requested to attend a workshop online. If things get better and you're all able to travel to the UAE, we may deliver a hybrid sort of workshop whereby you could actually attend it in person and we would display the professor, broadcast them all the way from Manchester if they can't travel to the UAE. Otherwise, it may be a full attendance with the professors and all the students traveling to the UAE if things get better. So let's hope for that. But otherwise, we have put different processes in place to make sure that you still get the interaction with the faculty and with the other students on the program as well. So I hope that's very clear. Please feel free to ask your questions in the chat. I will take them towards the end of the session, and one of my colleagues as well will be able to answer a couple of them as we move along the presentation. So please feel free to do so, and we'll just keep moving on. Now then, is this course the right next step for you? So the Masters, the MSc Financial Management course will equip you with the skills and knowledge that financial managers and other similar finance practitioners require for a successful career in finance. The course offers a balance between theoretical foundations and practical applications to solve complex and relevant business challenges. You will be able to study a full range of financial techniques that, for instance, will allow you to evaluate the performance and riskiness of a security or a company, select valuable investment projects, determine the type of capital a company should raise to fund investments, and analyze a company's financial strategy, of course. Practical experience is gained through the use of case studies and other hands-on activities requiring the application of financial techniques and the ability to process real-world financial data from markets and companies. So yet again, it's all about making sure that you apply all the learning in real life and within your own professional work environment as well. So if you're looking to move into mid-level management role in future or now even, or you're seeking a change of career and you want to actually move into the financial services sector as well, this would be a good step for you. If you are looking to further develop and enhance your knowledge of finance for career progression, this is of course for you. If you're looking to gain skills and confidence within the field of finance, this is of course a program that you would be able to consider. Now then, with regards to entry requirements, now this is of course very important, and I'm sure that all of you would like to know a bit more about this. So we of course have academic requirements. Now what you would need to be able to apply for the program to be considered in the first place would be a bachelor's degree. Your bachelor's degree, if you do have a first or 2-1 equivalent, now these are grading, this is the grading system that is used in the British education system. The equivalent in GPA would be a minimum of around 3.3 for those of you who actually have been using the GPA system. Otherwise, you can actually find the equivalent result of score grading system online via the UK NARIC, for example. Or if you even have a master's degree, that's perfectly fine. You can apply with that as well. We'll also consider candidates who actually have a 2.2. This would be the equivalent to around 2.7 GPA as well. But for them, for those who have that sort of grade, you'd have to have at least a year of relevant professional experience, and you should be able to demonstrate your suitability and motivation to join this course as well. So if you have, 5-10 years of work experience within finance, as well as a bachelor's degree, even if the grade isn't, a 3.3 GPA or 2.1 or at first, having a 2.7 or 2.2 in the British system would be enough to actually apply for the program and to actually be considered in the first place. Now, we welcome degrees from any academic discipline, and you have to be able to demonstrate good numeracy and quantitative skills and abilities as well. That is very important. As you can imagine, you are undertaking a course which is related to finance, so you need to be able to demonstrate these skills and to have adequate competencies in this field as well, to be able to go through this program without too many complications, of course. So that's the reason behind that. Moving on to English language competency. Now, this is very important. I know many of you will actually fall under this subsection, and you will need to keep this in mind once you decide to apply for the program. Unless your mother tongue is English or you've studied a degree in the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, etc., you will have to have an English language test result to be able to apply for the program. So even if you studied in a university here in the Middle East in English, that wouldn't be enough to showcase your English language abilities. We would still need a test, an English language test result to determine your eligibility. So here, as you can see, these are some of the requirements with regards to the different tests you can undertake. So this could be the IELTS. In this case, it would be 6.5 overall, with no less than 6 in every subsection. So this would be listening, writing, reading, and speaking as well. With regards to the TOEFL, you'd need a 90 overall minimum, with 20 in listening, writing, reading, and speaking as well. You can also undertake the PTE academic with a 59 to 65 overall, with no less than 59 in listening, writing, reading, and speaking, or the CPE, CAE, Cambridge with a minimum of 176 to 184 as well. So please do keep that in mind. If you are looking to apply for the program, you will have to, if you don't have English language as a mother tongue, or if you haven't studied in an English speaking country before, you will need to get one of these English language tests. Not to worry, you still do have a lot of time. The application portal and admissions are still open for a long time. So please keep in mind that you can still even start your application whilst you are in the process of getting your IELTS or your TOEFL, for example. So you can still go ahead with your application and then include your test results at the end. It's not a problem at all. But if you need help with the IELTS or TOEFL, it's good to get started with the British Council, for example. Otherwise, you can get in touch with the University of Manchester Middle East Centre. Our program counsellors, just like myself, would be able to counsel you and give you maybe a bit of guidance as to where you can get the IELTS or TOEFL, or where you could actually train or practice for the test as well before actually undertaking it. And if you need more information or clarifications as well, I'm happy to answer a couple of questions at the end. Otherwise, if you've already spoken to a program counsellor, you can get in touch with them as well, and they'd be happy to clarify these details for you. And then please do not forget that the test date must be no more than 2 years prior to the start of the program. So it still needs to be valid before you undertake the program. Very important as well. Moving on now to the application process. Now, as you can imagine, this is an important part of your journey, as it is the starting point to make sure that you can actually get onto the program in the first place. So what you'll have to do to receive an offer from the University of Manchester is to first check the admissions requirements and applications deadlines to make sure you apply within the right timeline, and to make sure that you are eligible as well with regards to the program. Then we'd ask you to send your CV and to speak with us as well for feedback on your profile, so to make sure that you are considering the right program, that you don't waste your time going through the application if it's not the right fit for you, if it's not suitable for you. So that's why it's good to get in touch with us. So what you can do, and just to let you know now, for those of you who haven't spoken to a program counsellor, if you want to get in touch with us, with myself or my colleagues, what you can do is go on to manchester.ac.ae, go to the program of choice, so the Masters in Financial Management, and you can submit a callback request, and we should be able to get back to you within 48 hours during working days. So please do so if you really want us to have an in-depth look at your profile, if you want to speak at a one-on-one level as well with some of our counsellors here. That's what we're here for as well, to help you out. Once you've done that, you'll have to complete the application form. So this is an online application form, and the same applies to this. So once you get in touch with your program counsellor, they'd be able to send you the link. Otherwise, you can start your application on the website as well. You can find it there. What you'll have to do to submit a successful application form is detailed here at the bottom. So you'd have to make sure you send us your updated CV. Now, please make sure to do that, because it is very important that you do have an updated CV. You'll have to attach that to the application form. Please make sure you share with us your degree certificates as well, the original copies, and a translated copy as well, if necessary. So that means if your degree is in Arabic or any other language than English, it would have to be translated by an official source as well. Don't just get it translated anywhere. It needs to be at an official place to do that. And then degree transcripts, the same applies to that. So it may need translating as well. If need be, you'd have to do it. So you'd have to attach the originals as well as the translated version as well. The English language certificate, so the test result, if that applies to you, you'd have to attach it to the application form, and then you'd have to provide us with 2 references. So what we mean by references is that you will have to provide us with 2 referees. So these 2 referees, preferably professional, from a professional background, professional setting, so colleagues of yours at current employers, former employers. They can be managers, your managers as well. We'll just need their names, email address, job title, because what will happen is that the university will send them a reference form that they will have to fill out, to complete, and to send back to the university for review, so that we can then consider their feedback as well. So it's an easy way of getting references. We don't really need any written reference. If you do have one, you're more than welcome to submit that in your application as well, but it's an easier process for you to just provide us with name and email addresses, and just make them aware that we will send them a reference form. Then once that is done, you'll obviously have to fill out your personal details as well during the application process, but you'll especially get to the supporting statement segment, which is 500 words maximum. So it is quite concise, but it is a small statement, paragraph, detailing what attracts you to apply for this course, what do you hope to gain from this course, and how will it help you achieve your aims and aspirations. Now, please be very honest during this statement. Please tell us why you are looking to undertake this program, the reasons, your aspirations, and how it will help you get to help you achieve your career goals. Be very honest, simply because once the admissions team will read your statement, they'll have a better understanding of why you're looking to join the program and if this is the right choice for you, to make sure that what the program offers is in line with what you are looking for as well. So it's a win-win for everyone. The university will make sure that it has a student that fits the program, and you will have be joining a university that fits your requirements and your goals and aspirations as well. So it's very important to be honest during the statement and really tell us why you're looking to join this program, this university as a whole. So that's what you'll have to provide in the application form. So once you've submitted that online, you will maybe have an interview with the admissions committee. So that's usually very rare. This is in the event information is missing or they want some clarification with regards to your profile as well. So usually this step only is required when something is missing, or if need be, they need further information from you, clarifications. But usually this isn't really the case. So once you've submitted your application, everything will be sent to the UK, to the admissions committee, to be reviewed by them and the program director as well. So they'll have a quick look at it. And once they've reviewed it, they will make the decision and send you an email with the outcome of your application. So they will obviously make you aware whether or not you've been accepted onto the program. So if you have any questions with regards to that as well, happy to take them at the end. Please feel free to ask your program counsellors, for those of you who have met them as well, for further information or clarifications if need be with regards to this. I know it can be a bit of a daunting task sometimes to apply for university and you're very much unsure as to if you're going to get in or if you have the right profile or if your application is going to be good enough. So please get in touch with us, because obviously we'll be able to really guide you and to make sure that your application is up to par so that you can get an offer from the University of Manchester. Now, moving on to probably the most important slide, and the one you've probably waited for the most this afternoon, which is the full cost of the program. So currently the price of the Masters in Financial Management is £20,475 Great British pounds. Now, this is payable in 4 equal installments every 6 months of the program. This means every semester you'd be required to pay a quarter of the entire tuition fees, as you can see here. We currently are offering a discount of 15% as well. So please feel free to get into your application to submit them as well, because you would be eligible for this 15% your total tuition fee. So as you can see, it is quite a significant difference from 20,475 to 17,400. So just around £3,000 there that you're saving. So that is quite significant. That's over 15,000 dirhams as an example. As you can see here, upon acceptance, you'd be asked to pay a £1,000 deposit. Now, this is to secure your seat, to make sure that you are onto the program, and that you can start getting access to some of your material as well. And before the start of the program, a couple of months before, you'll have to pay the remaining first semester balance. So as you can see, the deposit is part of the first semester balance. It's not an additional fee or payment. It's part of the first semester balance. It's just that you have to pay that once you decide to accept your offer at the university to join the program, to get access to your accesses online, so to Blackboard, to the virtual campus and resources that we have online as well. And as you can see here, you can now apply for the September 2021 intake. So you're more than welcome to do so. The application process is free of charge, so please feel free to go through the application and to get in touch with us if need be. And then with regards to application deadlines, of course, you do have until the 24th of June to submit your application for the start in September. The earlier the best, the better, of course, just to make sure you get onto the program nice and early without any sort of pressure as well. And you'll have your access as well a couple of months early. So feel free to get acquainted with the application process and application form online if that's something that you would like to do. So I hope that this covers a lot of the information that you wanted to know about the Masters in Financial Management program that is upcoming in September 2021. We're extremely excited about this brand new program here at the University of Manchester, and we hope that many of you will be interested in the content of this brand new program. Before we jump into questions, I know maybe a few of you have questions to ask. I just want to share some of the things that we do as well at the University of Manchester with regards to social responsibility. As you very well know, we're very engaged in education, it being our field, and we want to give back to communities that have difficulties because of COVID, because of other situations as well, poverty. And so we've actually collaborated with Dubai Cares here in the UAE to deliver a program which is called Adopt a School in a bid to try and build a school for individuals in poor conditions that would require a school. So these are usually children. So I'll just play a quick video here to illustrate what we're doing. There you go. So if you'd like to learn more about this program, you can visit manchester.ac.ae//SR for social responsibility, and you can learn more about that there and donate, of course, for this very noble cause. A bit more about that as well. So Dubai Cares is playing a key role in helping achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, actually, which aims to ensure inclusive and quality education for all and promote lifelong learning by 2030. So by supporting programs in early childhood development and access to quality primary and secondary education, technical and vocational education and training for youth, as well as particular focus on education in emergencies and protracted crisis as well. So as you can see here, a couple of programs that are currently running there. So we have Recovery and Resilience in Education in Iraq. We have the Transforming Refugee Education Towards Excellence tree in Jordan. We also have, Improving Children's Literacy in Sri Lanka. And you can find more info at dubaicares.ae/programs. Brilliant. Now, thank you very much for spending the time this afternoon. Really appreciate your presence here. And obviously, I hope that I've managed to cover as much as you'd have liked to hear about the financial management program that is being delivered here. If you have any sort of questions, please feel free to ask them to me, and as well as that, to one of our alumni as well, Hamid Abu Sadeh, and I'll just quickly introduce him as well, so that if you have any questions, you can direct them to them, to direct them to him as well if need be. But just to give you a bit of background with regards to Hamid, so he's an MBA alumni who graduated with the 2020 cohort and is working as a business head of brokerage in Kuwait and finance investment company, which he leads a business unit that serves over 20,000 retail and institutional clients to connect to over 35 financial markets globally, with an asset under custody that exceeds $2 billion. Hamid is an experienced business-minded professional and result-oriented leader with 15 plus years of proven work exposure focused on business management and development in financial services domain, covering local, regional, and international money markets as well. So Hamid is one of the many very, very elite and experienced professionals that you will be able to connect with throughout your journey with the University of Manchester, because as you know, once you do graduate from the program, you will be able to connect with alumni throughout the entire network, not only here in the Middle East, which you will be a part of, but globally as well, and not just within the financial management students and alumni, but as well with the broader program, so the MBAs, graduates as well, who many are in the finance position or financial industry, financial services industry as well. So without further ado, I don't know if any of you have any questions for myself, for maybe intricate details on the program, the financial management program, or more general questions that we can maybe ask Hamid. So I invite you to either ask your questions in the chat, or otherwise you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask questions as well. I'm more than happy to take a couple of them.
Thank you, William, for this presentation. I also would encourage people who are here right now to ask any questions.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Hamid. If not, if you're still thinking and you're still unsure, more than happy to take, to just get a couple of questions started, just to give you maybe a bit of insight at what it's like to study at the University of Manchester. Obviously, we have a graduate of the University of Manchester here with us this afternoon, and who's taken his time. So to kind of give you a bit of insight as to what it's like to study with Manchester and why he decided to select Manchester as well. Hamid, if you may want to just tell us why you decided on the University of Manchester, and what was the sort of selection process that you went through before you actually said and gave your accord to join the university.
Thank you, William. Before starting, I just want to welcome everyone to this session, and hopefully you can achieve your dreams by joining the Manchester Business School and achieving your ambitions. Actually, I joined the Manchester Business School because of some sort of career advancement that I was looking for, to have an MBA program. I went through the selection through many schools, but since I was a working professional that I need to be most of the time behind my desk at doing my job, that's why I chose the University of Manchester for two things. One, it's the blended program and the part-time that it delivers the program through. The second was the accreditation of the program itself from the AACSP and the EQUIS and the AMBA, as I have took took in the MBA. I believe this particular program of financial management is accredited by the AACSB and the EQUIS from the North America and the Europe. Yeah, so most importantly for me before joining was to have a well-known, well-established, reputable university, and at the same time to be accredited from the top accreditation body around the world, and at the same time deliver the program in a part-time model, because I don't have 10 months of my time to just take off my job and spend it in anywhere around the globe to finish the MBA. And that was the main reason to finish the MBA through Manchester, in which I finished it through 2 years over 4 semesters, as this program also is provided, which is the financial management. And this is why, to answer your question.
Fantastic. Thanks very much for that, Hamed. And just to clarify as well, because you did somehow allude to it, during the course of the MSc in Financial Management as well, you do have the flexibility to sort of pause the program, put it on hold if need be. MBA students actually had that same sort of flexibility as when, if they needed to take 6 months off or a year off because of other commitments that they have, may that be work commitments, family commitments, or other big projects maybe that they would have that came up and that would take all of their time, as to that they can't study anymore, and they could just put the program on hold in between semesters for 6 months, a year, and then come back onto the program. So as long as to the fact that they have to complete the program within 5 years. So this actually does apply to the Masters in Financial Management program.
Yes, and
as well.
Yes, and many of my colleagues actually did that, because some people actually, since you are working personnel, that sometimes you don't have the time to do it. But the most important thing is to start. This is what I actually would like to advise everyone: just start it. Once you have started it, you will definitely find the time. If you don't for some time have some other commitment, you can just delay a semester and continue. And some of my colleagues did that. Some of my colleagues finished the program within 3 years, as I have remember. The flexibility of the program is actually essential. It was helping. The quality of the program is actually perfect, up to what I was hoping, and actually better. And this is very important. So the final advice that I would say right now, and repeating it, is just start, and then you will handle your other commitments into your schedule to finish the program as within the fastest time that you would like to have, or if you would like to delay some other modules.
Brilliant, fantastic. Thanks for that, Hamed. And I just want to keep going on that specific point. You did say get started. Obviously, a lot of people, maybe, they've been working for the past 10, 15 years. They haven't been in education for a very long time as well. So it could be scary for them to actually go back into studying, to go back into a routine where they're working, studying as well. They have family commitments. What advice could you give them in terms of, how did you do it? How did you manage to balance your work and family and all the other sort of commitments that you had?
Actually, before starting, I was searching for the program maybe for 2 years, just going on and off, like these kind of sessions that I really wanted to have the MBA, but I'd never taken any decision regarding that. And every time I say, okay, the next semester I will start, it's like the gym. But once I have just took the decision, this is the actual time to start, because I was almost more than 15 years of experience that I have, but I needed it to be, maybe you will have the professional experience, and maybe you can cover most of the modules that we have taken from the experience life, but having it from the academical and theoretical way through education and delivered by a reputable university like the Manchester is totally different. So you can connect the experience world with the educational world and the theoretical world together, and that where you can excel in your job and excel in your life and the way you're thinking. The balancing between studying and working was very great, because we do have per semester only 6 days that we should be on the ground of the university or at one of its centers. And having only 6 days during one semester, I believe it was easily can be scheduled for any working professional. By the day-to-day working and the day-to-day studying, the joy behind it actually can scratch any time spent with it. I used to have almost 10 to 15 study hours every week, and this is where my focus was on each module actually, and this is where it got me. It was really fun. To be honest with you, it was really fun. The most important thing that I got out of that, rather than the knowledge and the certificate, was the network of professionals that I used to work for, because such programs, you don't get connected to any kind of people. You get connected to the elite kind of people that all have the same passion, all has the same experience, and all are professionals, and they have been very supportive. And we also made lots of business out of it. And at the same time, I've seen many colleagues that have other jobs only by connecting to those kind of people and having this kind of network as your close friends.
Brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic. And that's exactly the purpose of these programs, as well, as you very clearly mentioned, Hamid, is the networking side is so valuable, so important. And I'm sure you can agree with the fact that you do learn as much from the lecturers as you do from other students on the program as well, because they come from a variety of different backgrounds, variety of different fields as well within these different industries. And they can really, really give you practical knowledge as well on how they do things their way as well, and what has worked for them as well. And as you mentioned as well, in terms of finding new opportunities, finding not only professional ones, but business ones as well. It's all very important, and we have a very tight knit alumni network here in the region, very active. We actually have our careers department, which is headed by Hiba Abasi here in Dubai, who actually gets in touch with our students and alumni very regularly to offer them different sessions as well, to help them become more visible in the market, and to really make sure that they can make the most of their postgraduate experience as well as possible. So that's also something that's very important, and thank you very much, Hamid, to bring that up. That's absolutely essential, I must admit.
It is.
Fantastic.
I can see Zuhair have his hand raised over here.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Zuhair, would you like to ask a question, maybe?
yes, I do.
Fantastic.
Thanks, William, for the presentation, and thanks, Hamad, for joining in.
Pleasure.
I have a question with regards to the age profile of the candidates. So are you looking for candidates with loads of experience, or just someone out of their undergrad studies? I mean, the typical class would include people with lots of experience, or it's a pre-experience program?
Definitely, it's a very good question. And to answer your question, so we would be in a position to accept young graduates onto the program. So those that actually successfully completed, for example, bachelor's in finance, we would be able to consider them onto the program. However, we do still expect that a very large majority of students on the program would be experienced professional, just because of the demographics in the region. So as you very well know, maybe here in the Middle East, most of the people here are working, and they have to be working to actually reside in these countries. And so they usually have worked for several years in industry before they undertake these programs as well. And I'll just take the example of other programs that we run, such as the educational leadership program, the real estate program that we introduced last year. What happened is that although we can accept young graduates on the program, and majority, if not all of them, were actually working professionals with multiple years of work experience who just really want to consolidate their knowledge of the field in question. That does actually apply to this financial management program. I hope that answers your question, Suhail.
Yes, it do. Thanks.
Fantastic.
It's perfect.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
To add on this, in my cohort from 2018 and 19, we were around 120 students, and the age profile was between 25 years to 40. The majority was above 30, but believe me, when you study with such a group, such professionals, as William have mentioned, that you don't only get the knowledge from the professors and what they deliver to you through the academics, the kind of information that you will get from the university, because they have a module of learning by doing. They have a model that is learning by doing, and those 6 days that you will attend in the campus or the centers, you would be put inside a group, and each group, they will have a project or a presentation to deliver at the last day of each module, and this will make you actually work constantly and actively with your group to get the higher mark. So by this you will be sharing the experience and sharing the knowledge with your colleagues, and each one of you will try to get his best. And once you will work with already professional colleagues, I believe it's much more better maybe than attending in a full-time in UK and having lots of fresh graduates with you, because the stories and the experience that comes from each round, from each kind of, because most of your colleagues will come from different backgrounds. Some of them will come from financial markets, some of them will come from the insurance, some of them will come from the manufacturing, the oil and gas, and etc. So each one of them will have for sure a sort of experience, and that you will use in implementing that project, and it will help you also in your professional life within the projects that you will handle within your company or the task that you're doing at your job. So this is a very important thing to ask. And I believe they have an edge as the UOM, the University of Manchester, the part-time program, they have an edge over that because of that particular matter.
Fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant, Hamid. That's I cannot agree more with what you just stated.
Maybe Zuhair want to follow up on his question?
No, thanks, Hamid. I think that perfectly answered my question.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Brilliant, brilliant. I'm just very conscious of time as well. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to share specifically, Hamid. I'm more than happy to guide you maybe in another couple of places, but if there's something exceptional that you want to share with our attendees now, would be brilliant, just as a couple of parting words before we leave for the evening.
Actually, because we have spoken too much about the experience of the program and the personally how did I chose it, but we never touched base to the actual modules within the program. I did the MBA, in which the MBA is actually going more general into terms of the financial management, the marketing, the all sort of fields of management in per se. But for within the MBA, we have taken the two modules, actually, the business accounting and finance, which have touched base, or we have an education and learning on many fields of the financial management in a general terms, right? Like the foundation of finance, the corporate finance, the financial analysis, the global markets, and the mergers and acquisitions. And in your model as a financial manager, you will be doing more detailed and more working, and you will handle more projects and live projects within those each module by itself, and this is very like an extra thing that you will look after. Also, during my MBA, I did the venture capital and private equity, in which we were focusing so much on how can we give a value to a company, how to enter into a private equity, how to give a value, and how do the exit strategy, and how you can go for a run in order to pitch for investment to do your venture. So the models and the knowledge that we got from the professors that have delivered it were actually amazing, and we were using a live cases. Like I can remember on the private equity and venture capital module that we were working on an actually live business case that was not closed yet. The professor brought the business to our classroom, and they give each group of us the what will you do if you are in my shoes, and we were just giving him the thoughts, and we were working on an actual live project at that time with an actual business that was looking for a venture to be a finance venture in order to go live or make bigger projects that they were doing. So that was very essential. Rather than the experience, I would definitely would like to focus on the knowledge itself and the delivery method that was delivered through it. And finally, I already spoke about it, is the network, which is the network of the alumni that you will eventually have connection with, either within your cohort or the other alumni that you have never met, but they are already in your network. So being a part of that alumni group, like today, exactly before this meeting, I was talking to someone who's called Raymond. I've never met him actually, but maybe you guys know him, Raymond. Since we were both in alumni network, and he has similar business background, and he contacted me to find any kind of synergy to create more business, and it was a very, very good call, and most probably we're going to create something from that call and doing something in the derivatives market in this particular matter. So this is what I would like to add: the experience, the connections, and the knowledge itself, and the methodology of delivery. I always tell other prospect students like Zuhair, Shaima, and all the attendants over here. If you ask anyone whom are your closest friends, you would definitely remember the bachelor degree friends that you spent 4 years with, and until now they are in your circle of best friends. Definitely 99% of the answers would be like this. And this is the same. You have another chance to create very close friends from professional backgrounds and from business-minded, or let me say professional-minded people, and you will have many of them having the same thoughts and the same interests. And this is a very, very important matter to look for, not only for the education. Education is very important, the delivery is very important, but also the network, from my personal experience, have been tremendous, amazing.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Hamid, for sharing that. And I
You're
completely
most
agree
welcome.
It is what you do with what you have access to as well, not just sticking to the basics of studying and getting the knowledge, but making the most of that environment as well, as you very clearly illustrated through your networking and the friendships that you build, and professional friendships that you build as well, which are absolutely
Exactly. Also, to touch base on that, the university delivers some programs on let me say the personal traits. Besides the program itself of knowledge, you have a hand in hand, a work together. Another program that can help professionals, let me say, the networking skills. You can work on networking skills. You can work on other skills. You can work on interpersonal skills. You can work on everything else. So basically, they deliver the program, and the delivery. If some people are shy, let me say. They don't interact with other people. So having also those support lines alongside the program itself also helped some of my colleagues and my cohort to be more, some people doesn't know how to network with other people. They just stand in the room and they just stand still. So it's the way, how to approach and how to introduce yourself and what do you do, what, etc. This also, it has a value to be created.
Fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, that's exactly it, Hamid. And thank you
Yes.
very much for that. Really, really appreciate your insights and your answers this evening. I really, really do appreciate your time here. So thank you very much. And just absolutely our pleasure to host you, of course. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes, sir.
And so therefore, just before I let you all go, I just want to remind you all that if you have any further questions, you can get in touch with the program counsellors, with the university at the Middle East Centre. So all you have to do is to go on manchester.ac.ae, go to the financial management program, request a callback or download a brochure, and we'll get in touch with you very shortly if you haven't already done so, so that we can help you with your further inquiries, with some of your questions with regards to your own personal situations as well. Will help you throughout the admissions process as well, if that's something that you'd like to undertake. You can also go onto our website, so and also go to the events calendar. We do have a lot of events that take place online at the moment as well. We'll have different guest speakers, industry speakers over the next couple of months, as well as further information sessions and alumni talks as well. So you're more than welcome to go to the calendar to keep in touch with what's happening at the University of
Maybe
Manchester.
you can share your emails, William, to the chat in case of anyone
Yes,
who have a different
absolutely.
question, in order to ask direct questions. And I can share also my direct email for personal experience in the program. Maybe they will have any personal question. You're most welcome to contact me as well.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you very much for that. I'm sure that a lot of people would appreciate your time and your insight as well, Hamid. Thank you very much for that. So I've just put that in the chat for anyone that wants to copy that and use it in future. If you have any sort of questions, Hamid just put his email address there as well. In the event you'd like to ask him any specific questions, as he mentioned, he'd be happy to do so. And before I let you all go, we have a very short 40-second testimonial from one of our students who actually started the program in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, which is one of our centers as well, where the MSc Financial Management has actually been running. So his name is Gustavo Pilo. He's actually a part-time Master's in Financial Management student, and he currently works as an international FP and A at Itaú Unibanco and is based in Sao Paulo in Brazil. He studies the course predominantly online, and this short video explains why this course suits his life and career goals as well.
I found this program to be the best suited for my ambitions, as I was looking to enhance my skills and knowledge in finance, while also developing a managerial mindset. But I didn't want to pause my career at this point to study full-time. The University of Manchester has given me the opportunity of getting world-class education right here from my hometown, but also with face-to-face workshops to network with a really diverse class and benefit from the university's facilities.
Fantastic. So I hope that gave you a little bit more insight, not much, but a little bit more insight as to what some of our what one of our students thinks of the program and why he selected it as well. We do have more videos actually and more testimonials on our YouTube channel. So if you go onto YouTube and find the MSc Financial Management, find more talks from our course director as well, Amadeo De Cesari, and other faculty members as well, Ashraf as well. Kurdish will actually be on there as well. So you're more than welcome to do that. And then that's, I think, about it for us tonight. I know that we've overrun a little bit this evening, but I hope it hasn't been too bad. We do really appreciate your time as ever. So thank you very much for attending this University of Manchester Middle East Centre online information session on the Masters in Financial Management programme. If you have any sort of questions, you know where to find us. And with that being said, we wish you all a very good evening, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. And of course, I'd like to thank Hamid Abu Sadeh for being with us here this evening. We really do appreciate the time
Most
of our
welcome, William.
alumni, and we definitely look forward to seeing you very soon as well at a
Inshallah.
future alumni event.
I will. So basically, just please pass my regards to all the Middle East team.
Absolutely will do. Thank you very much, Hamid. Have a very good evening. Take care.
Most welcome.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.